We've all heard the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, but where did this phrase come from? Is it just a wise proverb about patience, or does it hide something deeper? Today, we'll uncover the true story behind the rise of Rome and ask a question no one dares to. Was Rome really built in a single day? Before we dive into the streets, temples, and legends of ancient Rome, let's pause to ask, where did the famous saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, even come from? Surprisingly, it wasn't something that Romans themselves said. The phrase actually comes from medieval Europe. The earliest known version appears in the 12th century, in the writings of John of Salisbury, a clever English cleric. He wrote something very similar to, Rome wasn't built in a day, but it burned in one. The phrase quickly spread across Europe as a proverb, a small piece of wisdom reminding people that great things take time. Over the centuries, the proverb made its way into many languages, from French to English and beyond. By the 16th century, it had become part of everyday speech. People used it to explain the value of patience, persistence, and planning. Lessons that are still true today. So the saying isn't a secret of Roman engineering or a hidden truth of the empire. It's actually a lesson crafted hundreds of years after the city's rise. One meant to teach us that nothing great happens instantly. Now let's step into history itself. The truth is, Rome was never built overnight. In fact, it took centuries of growth, struggle, and expansion. It began as nothing more than a cluster of simple huts on the Palatine Hill, around 750 years before Christ. From those humble beginnings, it grew into a republic, and later into one of the most powerful empires the world has ever seen. Every great structure that made Rome famous took years, sometimes lifetimes, to complete. The Colosseum, for example, took 8 long years of construction under the emperors Vespasian and Titus. The aqueduct system, the lifeblood of the city, wasn't a single project. It expanded slowly over centuries, supplying water to millions. Temples, forums, roads stretching thousands of miles across Europe. Each of them was built piece by piece, stone by stone, over generations. Rome's greatness wasn't the work of a single day. It was the steady effort of countless builders, engineers, and leaders across hundreds of years. If Rome clearly took centuries to rise, then why do so many people still imagine it as a city that appeared almost instantly? Part of the answer lies in the stories told about its beginnings. According to legend, Rome was founded in a single day by the twins Romulus and Remus. After being raised by a she-wolf, they chose the Palatine Hill as the birthplace of their new city. Romulus, in a fit of rage, killed his brother and declared himself the first king of Rome. From that moment, the myth says, Rome was born, sudden, dramatic, and complete. Stories like this made Rome's origins sound fast and almost magical, rather than slow and gradual. But it wasn't just mythology shaping this idea. Roman emperors themselves also loved to exaggerate. Each ruler wanted to claim that under their reign, Rome became greater than ever before. Monuments, temples, and forums were often described as if they had been completed instantly, thanks to the emperor's power and vision, even though the actual building work stretched across many years. This combination of legend and propaganda made Rome feel like a city that could rise in a moment. But history tells a different story, one of patience, effort, and centuries of work. So if the phrase Rome wasn't built in a day didn't come from the Romans themselves, why has it lasted for so long? The answer lies in its symbolic meaning. At its heart, The proverb is not really about Rome at all. It's about life. It reminds us that anything great, whether it's building a city, mastering a skill, or achieving success, takes time, patience, and persistence. The rise of Rome shows this perfectly. Roads stretching across continents, aqueducts carrying water for millions, armies expanding the empire. None of these achievements happened overnight. They were the result of steady work over generations. But the proverb also carries a hidden warning. Rome may not have been built in a day, but it did collapse in just a few short decades. The empire that took centuries to build unraveled with shocking speed. That makes the saying not only about growth, but also about fragility, how even the strongest things can fall apart quickly. And perhaps that's why the phrase is so powerful today. It teaches us patience in building and humility in remembering how quickly it can all be lost. Now here's the twist. In one sense, Rome was built in a day. Every single day for centuries, new stones were laid, new roads stretched outward, and new temples rose to the sky. Rome wasn't built in one miraculous moment, but it was built in the daily effort of countless people across generations. And that's the real lesson hidden inside the proverb. Greatness is not a single act. It's a habit. Every day matters. Every effort builds towards something larger than ourselves. So, was Rome really built in a day? Not literally, but in another way, yes, it was built in every single day that people chose to keep building. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. What other proverbs or mysteries from history would you like me to explore next? Until then, remember, great things take time.